I read news every day. News that's informative, but rarely encouraging. The InterMountain Christian newspaper aims to change that. They present the news you need to know, from what's going on in your community to your world, with encouraging words, motivation, and the resources you need to make positive changes in your life. What is your local government doing that you need to know about? What's happening in your community you need to be a part of? Whether it's a story from your neighborhood, a national story, or an encouraging word, you'll find biblical issues of everyday life in the InterMountain Christian newspaper. InterMountain Christian News is produced and supported by the work and donations of individuals and churches. You'll find it at churches, Christian bookstores, by subscription, and online at IMCNH10042016. To find out more about supporting this local resource, go online at IMCNews.org or call InterMountain Christian News in Boise, Idaho at 208-703-8688. The InterMountain Christian News, a voice sharing the truth on matters dear to people's hearts.
Are you tired of the secular news? Do you want a Christian view of politics? Do you want to know what is going on in your Christian community? Your wait is over. Welcome to the InterMountain Christian News Hour. Here is your host, Dr. Anthony Harper.
I'm Dr. Anthony Harper here with InterMountain Christian News Hour, making a difference. We are a voice of truth, reporting the truth about Israel and what's happening here in America. And Len and Cheryl Watts joining me from Israel. Near Jerusalem, a beautiful land, the beautiful land of Israel. Want to encourage people to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. And thank you, Len and Cheryl, again for joining me to give us an update on what's happening.
No, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you, Anthony. I just want to let you know that today and yesterday was Rosh Hashanah, which is ahead of the New Year. It's the rabbinical New Year for the Jewish people. And so both these days, everything was closed. People went to the parks and had fun, and they go back to work for 2 days and they're off again. So, yeah, we're in the month of holidays. Next week is Yom Kippur, which is the most holy day of the year, and that is when they ask for, they go to the synagogue and ask to be in the Book of Life. They ask to repent. Yeah. It's called the Day of Repentance and the Day of Redemption. And so it's interesting that right now, the 10 days of awe between now and Yom Kippur, when they search their soul and they go to make wrong right. You know, if they did anything bad to anybody, family or friends, they go to them and try to make it right. And they want to really know the Lord and be good enough to make it into the kingdom. So we need to be praying for the Jewish people as they're seeking the Lord with all their hearts this week.
That's so important. I think of that Old Testament verse, 2 Chronicles 7:14. That's used a lot in America. It is Solomon is praying for wisdom and how to rule Israel, and God tells him, if my people, which are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray, and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, forgive their sins and heal their land. And I hope for that major repentance, Len and Cheryl, to happen here in the U.S. as well.
Yeah, I mean, people all over, this is what the Lord's looking for. And I know that during time of war here, I've been here through a few of them, and people really reach up. And this is when they start coming together and they start praying and you know, because they're looking for hope. And everyone knows more war is coming. And tunnels are being dug as we speak from the Gaza Strip into Israel. And they found tunnels from the north, from Hezbollah into Israel. And there are rockets coming in from Syria into Israel, and they actually put the Iron Dome there this week to keep the rockets from landing in Israel. So far, of course, it didn't hit any homes, thank God, but the next one could. So they try to intercept those rockets. So Israel is on high alert on every side right now, even in Jerusalem.
A lot of leaders and wonderful leaders here in America believe that there's a solution to terrorism found in repentance.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it's a very crucial issue, and I'm praying for major change here in the U.S. and in Israel. And we talked about too many people's response in Israel to this presidential election coming up. What are the Israeli people thinking about Trump and Hillary?
Well, the people that we talk to, and we've talked to quite a few just about our day, and just everyday people, Jewish people are really wanting Trump to win. And when you ask them why, they say they don't want another 4 years of Obama, because they didn't like what he stood for, what he did, and what he caused here in Israel, and the pressure he put on Israel. And he didn't not understand what's going on here in the Middle East. They believe Trump would be different, and he would be stronger for America, and that would make Israel stronger also. He would understand. He's willing to dialogue with Israel. So they don't want Hillary to come in because they know that she's going to be the same type of administration as Obama. Yet the Muslim people that we talk to and hear from say they want Hillary to win because they think she's easy on them, and they see America being easy to get into now, and they think Trump is a wild card. They don't know what he's going to do, but they don't trust that things are going to be as easy as it was. That America won't be as weak. So it's interesting. So when you look at who the Muslims are voting for and who the Jews are voting for, it really makes an impact on how we think over here.
Yes, we have a real battle here in the U.S., and it's getting very heated regarding Trump and Hillary here, and I had a wonderful interview with Dinesh D'Souza of this movie, Hillary's America, and I think that movie might be popular in Israel.
Absolutely. Is it out already?
It should be this month. The Hillary's America is supposed to be on DVD and on Netflix the middle of October, I believe. And I think a lot of people would love to see that in Israel. It'd be great to get it shown in the theaters there because it's a great history about the Democratic Party here. And, Dr. Carson... What?
What we'll do is spread the word about that. We have a lot of connections over here and media in different areas and authors and you name it. So I've been here over 17 years. So we'll get that out after we see it. And, yeah, we, too, feel like... we want a stronger America. And Trump is a wild card, but you know what? He's saying all the right things. Hillary's saying all the right things, always has, but I haven't seen much action. So I guess I'm giving my point of view. But, yeah, we want to see a change, and we want to see a stronger Israel and a stronger America. I'm a patriot. I'm American, and I love America. And America, to me, is now going downhill. And right now, with what's going on with the war between in Syria, Russia is helping Syria, and so is the Iranian Guard. And so Iran and Russia are working together to help the regime, the crooked regime in Syria, who are killing all the people. And anyway, so with America working with Russia and trying to have some peace negotiation going on, and now it's blown up. And so the rift between America and Russia is really, really bad. And for Israel, that's horrible because Israel has to live with Russia being a power in the Middle East. They are on the Shiite side. The Shiites are going stronger by the day. Saudi Arabia is Sunni, and they are wanting someone to be on their side because if the Shiites take over, they're the worst of the two evils. And it's going to be a real hard world for America. Iran already threatened America. Just yesterday they said if America decides to bring ground troops, they have 9 million ground troops that are ready to go in 10 days. So this is how much it's escalated within this past week. So it's a scary situation over here, and with somebody in office that doesn't know really what's going on, we're in a lot of trouble with America and in Israel. So Iran's already threatened to send a rocket into Israel as soon as America lands and tries to do something different. I don't know if you've been keeping up with that or if it's even in the news over there.
Oh, yes. I think the main concern for a lot of people is Assad of Syria, how he deals with ISIS. If Assad is against the ISIS presence there or not.
Oh, wow. Well, I would hope he is. From here, we hear that he, of course, is against ISIS. He's an Alawite person. He's the head of a government that's Shiite. ISIS is Sunni. Sunni Muslims do not like Shiites. So the one thing they do is ISIS has been killing Shiites, and ISIS is against Shiites. So I don't think that they would work together. As a matter of fact, Russia was bombing some ISIS strongholds, but they stopped. Now they're just bombing the rebels that are Sunni fighting against the Shiite government of Assad. So this is what we're told over here, or what we hear.
Well, it's a real mess because the Shiite and the Sunnis are both oppose Israel.
That's right, and that's what's wrong with these rockets coming in. Israel's trying to talk to Syria and to Russia, say, stop, keep your rockets over on your side, because the Sunnis want to take over the Golan Heights, and the Shiites want to take over the Golan Heights. So Israel's making sure that their border is not crossed.
Wow.
Yeah, both of them are bad. Both of them are bad, but Shiite is so powerful right now with Russia and the Iranian Guard, and with that nuclear deal that happened. They're just making more and more nuclear weapons, and they will become a nuclear power, Iran. That's what they're saying if you go to MEMRI, MEMRI, Media Research Institute, they take everything that's been put in Arabic and put it into English, and then you can see what the Arab world is saying.
Well, it's so important to get the truth out about Israel, what is happening there. I want people to get your newsletter, and they can just email you requesting your newsletter, and they would send an email requesting that to what email address?
Yeah, it's really easy. It's an easy one. All one word, reportingfromisrael@gmail.com. That's reportingfromisrael@gmail.com. And I send a bi-weekly newsletter or email update, and I try to keep it as short as possible, short paragraphs, because it's news that you don't get in the West, and news that just is even twisted, that you don't report. So, yeah, if you send me an email, I will get you on the list so that you can get the news from what's happening here on the ground.
Oh, it's a wonderful to be there in Israel. I remember the first time I met you, Cheryl, was at President Obama's landing at the airport in Tel Aviv. That was quite the experience. A lot of hoopla about President Obama's arrival there, and it seemed like people were treating him like a messiah or something. There were a few demonstrations there. Some Israeli people that were angry about him being there. The people here, a lot of them see what actually is going on the ground and don't like what's going on. When he came to Israel himself, there was hope that things would change and that the relationship would be closer and that he would begin understanding Israel and stop demanding things that Israel should not be doing, such as giving up territory. I mean, it sounds like a nice thing. Give us the territory and give it to the Palestinian people. And it sounds all nice as you say it, but if you're here on the ground, you really see what's happening. And we see villages, Arab villages going up everywhere. And since I've been out in this area the last 8 years, there must be 13, 14 villages that have gone up. And no one's talking about the villages that the Arab people are building, the Muslim people. And people aren't living in all these houses. They're just putting them on the land to claim the land. But Israel's not building new villages. They're not building new settlements, as what we're hearing in the news. We may be building apartment buildings for the people that get married, grow up, get married, and need a place. There's a lot of competition in the rents here. Rent is really high because you can't find an apartment to rent. But the Arabs are building. So if you know what's going on the ground, then it helps in the political situation. And they were hoping Obama would see what's going on the ground, but obviously that didn't happen. So, very clear that Obama opposes Israel and wants to give away more land, which will actually, make things worse for Israel. And we're upset. It's upsetting to know about this pressure on Israel and trying to get the truth out. And we met here just recently in Israel, didn't we? It was great to be with you at the Knesset to talk about those U.S. tax dollars to the UN, these schools inciting kids to violence against the Jews, and Yehuda Glick, Knesset member, it was a blessing to see him there. and he's very outspoken about this.
Yeah, well, the people here know that the kids in the Arab schools in Israel proper and in the West Bank, especially in the West Bank and in Hamas territory, is learning a narrative instead of the facts, the historical facts. So in their history books, it talks about how the Jews came to Israel, and they've never been here before, and now they want to occupy their land, and they make them poor, and they ruin their lives. And so the kids grow up believing this stuff, and they go out to kill. And I've worked with Palestinians since 2002. And one little boy, I remember after school, he came over to his apartment. We had a little distribution center. And I said, "What did you learn today?" And he said, I learned how to make a bomb out of a potato. And I said, "Really? Why?" He said, "Because we have to take this land back from the occupiers. We have to get rid of them." And then he thinks he's going to be a hero if he kills Jews. And this is what they put in the school book. So what you're doing, you open the door for David Bedeen, who has been investigating these school books and trying to print these school books and show people what's going on. But you open the door for him to talk to somebody in Washington to say, "Hey, why are you giving money to the UN when the UN is using that money to make school books that are not factual?" And inciting the children to pick up scissors at their school, go out in the streets in Jerusalem and stab people. And that's exactly what's going on the ground here. So what you're doing plays out on the ground.
Very disturbing. People can actually learn more about this. One News Now is a prominent Christian news source here, actually, that goes out to a lot of churches. And I think they did a really good report about this issue of UNRWA, which stands for United Nations Relief Workers Agency, these schools that they're inciting kids to violence. And if people want just to go to onenewsnow.com and type in UNRWA, UNRWA, and David Bedeen and my name, you can get that report. But it's an exciting opportunity, Lynn and Cheryl, make a difference. But now this request from Senator James Risch to the General Accounting Office is I've been told in progress, that it could take several months for this report to be generated about U.S. tax dollars to these schools. And we need to pray. I pray that we can get a good report that will be helpful. My hope is that the current administration in the U.S. is not trying to block or influence this report in any way.
Yeah, well, all we can do is our part, and that's what you're doing and what you've done, and David, and get the truth out, and that's what we're doing here as we're talking on the radio. And then we have to pray, like you said, and it's up to the Lord to get other people to respond, and it's up to the people to want to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves, to understand what's going on in the world around them, so they don't fall into believing lies. And in the Bible it says that if it were possible, even the very elect would be deceived. So, and we don't want to be the ones to be deceived. So we need to be looking at what's going on, just as you are, and getting down to the truth, and then being good watchmen. And when we find the truth, we tell that truth, and that's what we're all about. So I thank you, Anthony, for your part in getting the truth out.
It's wonderful and fulfilling to get the truth out about Israel, about what's happening here in the U.S. and we do have some major things coming up here. We got a vice president debate tonight here. My hope is that Governor Pence will do a good job and actually win this debate. And of course, Donald Trump would be blessed with some good debating skills and defeating Hillary Clinton. And the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association here did a wonderful report, Two Visions, Two Americas, and they make it very clear that Hillary is not an option. She would stack the Supreme Court with more bad judges, and it's a very trying time in America, isn't it, Lynn and Cheryl?
Yeah.
Well, when people have asked me about the president, these candidates, and my position has been foreign policy. If they are weak in foreign policy, that they need to, well, we just don't need to elect them. If they're strong in foreign policy, then that's the person that I would lean towards. And the reason for that is because we're a world community now. The things that are happening in the Middle East will affect America. And the foreign policy is critical. And you can see just in the last 8 years, by having a weak foreign policy, what America's position now is in the world. And that's about as political a statement as I want to make right now, other than to say that Cheryl and I are registered to vote. And I would encourage everyone to register to vote. Don't waste it. It is so important. It's critical that the Christian community go out and vote your conscience. And so we pray that the right person be put in office, and we just pray that they have. I personally pray that they have strong foreign policy.
Yes, we're really concerned about also here. If you've heard about President Obama wants to give away control of the internet to foreign entities, and very disturbing. Another effort, unconstitutional effort. That is scary for religious freedoms. Actually, to have foreign powers and control the internet.
Yeah, actually, our freedom of speech is very important, and that may give away our freedom of speech depending on who has control of the internet. And there are some countries you can't even have a Bible, like in Saudi Arabia. They'll take your Bible before you enter that country. So it's very important that we have freedom when it comes to our speech. So, yeah, I thought people should vote on who gets control of that, and not have one man make a decision for us. So it's a scary thing. We will be praying about that for sure, Anthony.
Yeah, this is a wonderful news report that came out from Baptist Press about that to explain what is happening. But I think the shortened term of it is called ICANN, ICANN. If you type that into your search engine at Baptist Press, they have a good report about that. But it's very upsetting about what is happening here. America seems to be on a fast erosion in morality in so many areas. So hopefully we'll get back on track here soon. A lot of people are praying. So
yeah, I think that's the most important thing is prayer. And I told you recently that Netanyahu, when the school year first started, he came on television telling all the students, have a good year. But he said the most important subject in school this year is Bible study. They all learn about the Bible. They all learn about God. They all learn about what He can do and trusting in Him and history, true facts. And so this is the most important subject in the Jewish schools. And I wish it were the most important subject in American school, because we need to have the Lord to trust in, to look up to guide us and lead us. And Lord willing that, His will be done. But we will do our part, as Len said. We will pray. We will get the truth out. And we know you're doing the same thing.
Well, yes, I get the truth out. I mentioned this, back to this internet issue. ICANN stands for Internet Corporation of Names and Numbers. And it has had oversight from the U.S. Department of Commerce. But Obama's plan would be to do away with that. So there would be no U.S. oversight whatsoever, and can be very disturbing regarding religious liberties. But so we have a lot to deal with, both in Israel and America. And I want to encourage people to travel to Israel, to bless Israel. So much wonder there, so many wonderful places to be, and I hope to see you back in Israel sometime in the near future, Len and Cheryl.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to that, Anthony. Yeah, there's never a dull moment over here.
There isn't now. Do you know when Hanukkah is this year in Israel?
No, I haven't looked up the date yet. Usually falls in November or December.
Okay.
But we'll have to get together on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember being last year for Hanukkah. That was my first time, a very special blessing.
You know, what's interesting is that Jesus Yeshua came to Jerusalem for Hanukkah, and that's in the Bible. Yeah, Hanukkah actually will start on the 25th, it looks like. I'm looking at the Jewish calendar now, the Hebrew calendar. And December 25th. Oh, my gosh, that's Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Interesting, yeah. So then we have the 8 days of Hanukkah that goes right to the new year.
So Hanukkah starts December 25th.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Well, I would love to be there then. That would be a miracle to be there.
Yeah.
And
what a miracle.
What a blessing to land in Israel. I tell you, it's such an emotional time. But for those that would want to join me, I would love to take people to go with me to take a tour of that Knesset building. That's a wonderful place and a lot of history at the Knesset.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even realize you can just walk through there as a tourist, and you can sit in on sessions, and it's very interesting. And then other people don't realize when you go to some of these sites, they're actual sites where Jesus was. Some of them are traditional, but there are actual sites, and they're finding stuff every day. They found a gate that was during Hezekiah's time. And, you know, this is like history, 3,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. That history is surfacing in the earth, and we can put our hand on it. We can sift, and people are invited to come and sift rubble from the Temple Mount. And I myself found an arrowhead from when the Babylonians came in and took the Jews into captivity. There is so much to do in Israel. Bring your group. Come and get the hands dirty, find things and meet the people and see what's going on in the government and see the sites. Wow, what a trip that would be.
Oh,
great journey.
I want to encourage people to get your newsletter, and they can call our office in Boise, Idaho, if they have any more questions. But thank you for joining me, Lynn and Cheryl, today. Give us an update about what's really happening, getting the truth out about Israel, and look forward to, as I say, to see you once again, the wonderful land of Israel soon, hopefully for this December. So.
No, that would be wonderful. We look forward to seeing you. And as they say in Israel, Shana Tova. Shana Tova. It means have a good new year.
Yes, thank you so much, and I'll talk with you later.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.